Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sarah, and I'm a revert to Islam as of January 2008. Alhamdulillah. First, I would like to let you know that I'm not a full-time hijabi. I put on my hijab for modesty purposes because this is a video on YouTube, so I don't want to give a wrong impression that I'm a bad Muslim or anything. So, inshallah, I will one day be a full-time hijabi. I just don't feel it's quite the right time for me yet. But I need to learn a bit more about Islam so I can fully represent it. But basically I'm making this because I wanted to give my conversion story. I get asked a lot, why I converted. Most people don't understand why. But there are two comments that I get the most. Well, they're sort of one and the same. Either, oh, I didn't know you were married, or I didn't know you were engaged. As if a woman would only convert because of her husband or fiancé, which is not the case in my story. And I know there are a lot of women and men who do convert for their fiancé or their spouse, but and there's nothing wrong with that at all. You know, whatever floats your boat, you know, if that's how they come to Islam, you know, mashallah. I congratulate that, that's great. But that is not my case. So basically my story started a few years ago. I was really questioning my faith. I was raised Christian. Both my parents are very Christian. They go to Baptist church. They used to be youth ministers. I have an aunt who's a Methodist minister. So there's a lot of religion in my family. I think my mom had an aunt who was a nun or something. Who knows? Even in my teen years, I was very involved in sort of evangelical Christianity. A lot of my friends were very much into, you know, speaking in tongues, being filled with the Spirit. I always felt sort of awkward about that. And when I started really looking at my faith, I realized I wasn't really very comfortable with, you know, having to worship Jesus as God. It just sort of confused me, and the Trinity as well. I couldn't really understand it. So I basically went religion shopping, if you will. I looked into Judaism first for a good year and a half. You'd be surprised how many books there are about converting to Judaism. I have a good 3 or 4. But I would go to a synagogue. I visited a conservative synagogue and also reform, just to get different viewpoints. And everyone was very welcoming and warm. You know, I love Jewish people. I have nothing against them. But I was informed by many of them that I should not tell anyone that I was converting, because there's sort of a stigma towards converts. You know, people don't like their children to marry converts because apparently they know too much. So I was basically told that I wouldn't be welcomed as a real Jew if I converted. So that sort of deterred me from that choice. Then, for some reason, I started looking into Hinduism. I have a friend who was raised Hindu. Her whole family's Hindu, but she's now Christian. So I was very exposed to Hinduism growing up around her and with her family. And I think I mainly looked into it just because I'm so in love with the Indian culture and the people and the language, and the food is amazing. So I thought, why not the religion? There's a Hindu temple in the city, so I started visiting that, looking into it, but I couldn't really get into the multiple gods thing. I know some people tried to tell me it's not quite like that, but that's just how I saw it. So then I started looking into Islam. I have a friend who is a Muslim, and didn't know she was Muslim until I started looking into Islam, and she would answer any questions I had. She was very kind about it. She never pushed anything upon me, never you know, forced me to convert or anything. She would just answer any questions that I had about it. And she mentioned that there was a new Muslim class at the mosque that her and her family attend. So I figured I'd give it a try, you know, help me learn more. And when I went there, I realized that the more that I learned, the more I felt it was what I was looking for. There was a certain sense of structure, and just the belief system, it really struck a note with me that I hadn't felt in Christianity or looking into any of the other religions. I felt very at home, and just the more I learned about Islam, the more I knew it was the truth, and I couldn't deny it. So I converted, and I'm very happy with my choice. I really wouldn't want to go back. My parents are still a little uneasy with my choice, but they're learning to accept it. So that's my story. Hope you liked it. Hope it helps anyone out there if you are struggling with this at all. I know there are a lot of converts on YouTube. Lynn Photos 84. Assalamualaikum. Indonesia. Salam. There's the Vintage Ka. Salam to you too. Who have really great stories, and they've been interviewed about their stories, and they're very inspirational. So I hope this helps or entertains if that's what you're looking for. Inshallah, I'll make more vlogs. This is my first one, so see how it goes. And that's about it. Alright, take care. Allah Hafiz.